Time has been cruel to you.
Indeed.
Welcome to Watch Mojo, and today we're counting down our picks for the darkest stories from Egyptian mythology.
Here, Ani faces his final challenge.
Number 10. Cat mummies. Losing a beloved pet is never easy, but what if you could take them with you into the afterlife? This is one of the motives behind the mythology of mummification, beliefs that center around preparing souls of the dead for their journey through the afterlife.
As anyone who's seen a mummy knows, ancient Egyptians went to a lot of trouble to evade decomposition.
Trials and tribulations await those embarking upon this journey, and archaeologists have found evidence of many mummified cats entombed in great numbers alongside their human counterparts.
Well, ancient Egyptians believed cats were really important too. In fact, they thought they were divine creatures.
Cat mummies were designated as offerings to Bastet, an Egyptian goddess, or as a means of assisting the dead in communicating during their sojourns into the mysterious beyond.
The Egyptian Minister of Antiquities, aka the guy in charge of really old stuff, says they've also found a door to another tomb. They're hoping to open it up soon to find out what ancient secrets lie behind it. I, for one, hope for more cats.
Number 9. The Dismemberment of Osiris. This story of love, death, betrayal, and rebirth is a central one to the world of Egyptian mythology.
In ancient Egyptian mythological beliefs, during Egypt's early history, the gods ruled as kings on earth. Osiris was one of those gods who served as king.
The story of how Osiris was murdered by his brother Set and had pieces scattered across the Egyptian landscape. Of how Osiris's wife, in her grief, set off to collect these pieces in an attempt to bring her husband back to life.
Now, by restoring Osiris's body like this and then reviving him, Isis made it possible for Osiris to live on forever as king.
The Osiris myth not only speaks to marital love between the gods, it also presents details into the Egyptian underworld, while symbolizing cultural cycles of death and rebirth central to this mythos.
For people who wanted to live on forever after death, emulating Osiris, that is, imitating the process that he went through, was crucial for success.
Number 8. Sobek's punishment. Sobek's reputation for violence and aggression is matched only by his fearsome appearance, that of a warrior deity being a crocodile head.
The ancient Egyptians chose a lot of their gods based on the natural world, and crocodiles are large, terrifying things, so they wanted to appease them.
There's another gruesome story involving Sobek, however. One that's said to be the genesis of the belief that crocodiles didn't have tongues. It's been said that Sobek consumed one of the aforementioned pieces of Osiris that had been scattered by Set after the latter murdered his sibling. The gods punished Sobek for this infraction, tearing out his tongue and thus setting the stage for all future crocodiles that would dwell within the Nile River. Number 7. El-Naddaha. It seems as if every culture possesses some sort of myth or legend that's designed to ward away the young from dangerous places, such as dark and lonely water. Egypt was no different in this regard, as evidenced by the El-Naddaha.
A spirit that calls men to their doom? It sounded like an old wives' tale.
This water spirit could roughly be compared to the naiads of ancient Greece, female apparitions that are said to lure men to their deaths via drowning in the Nile.
The Nile River affected every aspect of life in ancient Egypt.
The ancient Egyptians were extremely cognizant of how the Nile was their lifeblood. They respected both its creative and destructive powers, and thus had many fearful stories designed to instill the same sort of respect for younger generations.
Even today, villagers claim that on quiet nights, when the wind is still and the river is calm, you can hear her voice, calling, waiting for the next soul to answer.
Number 6. The Mother of Ghouls. There is a nebulous origin to the story of Omena el-Ghula, sometimes known as the Mother of Ghouls. It's a myth similar to the more familiar tale of Baba Yaga, a Slavic witch said to prey upon children. The Arabic and Egyptian tales of Omena el-Ghula are similar in their intent, to teach children not to wander off, to be careful of whom they trust out there in the world. Otherwise, Omena el-Ghula might snatch them up for dinner, and they'll never be seen again by their parents or anybody else.
Come along, kitty winkies.
The Mother of Ghouls is also said to be particularly fond of bad, misbehaving children. So this folktale has also historically assisted parents in that time-honored tradition of well, making threats.
Lisa, if you don't behave, we'll turn this car right around and go home.
But Marge, I want to see my brother.
Oh, for God's sakes, Homer, it's an empty threat.
Number 5. The eternal struggle of Ra and Apophis. The ancient world relied upon stories and myth to explain what occurred around them on a daily basis. This included events that we take for granted today, such as the rising and setting of the sun.
At the setting of the sun, Ra enters the caverns of the underworld.
Egyptian mythology designated a nightly battle between Ra, the sun god, and Apophis, or Apep, a giant serpent. The latter attempted to swallow up Ra to stop the sun from rising, leaving Egypt covered in darkness and eternal night. Apophis was occasionally successful in this aim, which was where other celestial defenders like Set, Bastet, and Mehen came into play.
Which one specifically depended on where in Egypt you lived, as different cities had different patron deities.
They would slice open Apophis and free Ra, and it was on these nights when the normal Egyptians would witness a solar eclipse.
It is my burden to fight the demon Apophis night after night. Egypt must never be destroyed by chaos.
Number 4. Ammit, Eater of the Dead. Nothing scares us quite like the unknown mysteries of death. Ancient Egyptians, like all of us, had their own theories and mythologies to explain what went on after we die.
But first, that spirit must pass through the Duat, or underworld. This is a realm of vast caverns, lakes of fire, and magical gates, all guarded by fearsome beasts. Snakes, crocodiles, and half-human monstrosities with names like He Who Dances in Blood.
Their judgment of the dead included Ammit, a god who embodied 3 fearsome predators of the Nile River. This deity with the body of a hippo lion and a crocodilian head would devour the hearts of those deemed unworthy of entering into Aru, the Egyptian equivalent of heaven.
But Ani is in luck. His heart is judged pure.
Ammit sits alongside Anubis and Thoth as an executioner for those judged within Osiris's underworld dominion of Duat, a fearsome and creepy character that nevertheless demands respect.
Ammit, Eater of the Dead, is devouring my heart.
Number 3. Biological children. There's just no getting around it. The worlds of ancient mythology can be a violent, gross, and troubling place, full of weird stories of death and creation.
Nu was the name of the dark, swirling chaos before the beginning of time.
Atum is one of the elder gods of the Egyptian pantheon, a creator who didn't even need a partner to facilitate the births of spawn like Shu and Tefnut. It was Atum's shadow that was said to have assisted in this end, although the god needed to conceive these children via some pretty gross acts like spit up and vomit.
In the beginning, Atum created himself, and from there the world took shape. That's what I call self-sufficient.
It doesn't end there either, since other stories go even further to this end, symbolizing celestial loneliness with tales of Atum utilizing an act of self-pleasure in order to bring Shu and Tefnut into the world.
So you're still master of your domain?
Yes, I am. Master of my domain.
Number 2. Celestial Rebirth. So, do you remember how earlier we discussed Isis's journey to recover the pieces of her slain husband Osiris? Did we forget to mention that the pair were also brother and sister? But wait, we're not actually done, because after Isis reconstructed Osiris's body, their post-mortem copulation resulted in a son, Horus.
He and Isis conceived a son to bear Osiris's legacy and one day avenge him.
This offspring would go on to defeat Set and avenge his father, ruling over Egypt within the divine legacies of the pharaoh.
Horus received his fair share of sacrifices and temples erected in his honor.
Stories of sibling love and marriage are not solely the property of Egyptian mythology, but this tale of celestial death and rebirth certainly has to be one of the world's most unique. Before we continue, be sure to subscribe to our channel and ring the bell to get notified about our latest videos. You have the option to be notified for occasional videos or all of them. If you're on your phone, make sure you go into your settings and switch on notifications. Number 1. Khonsu, the Cannibal God. Fans of the Marvel Comics character Moon Knight are probably well aware of this ancient Egyptian god.
You know I'll protect you with everything I have. You are worth protecting.
The moon is sacred to Khonsu, but there also exists a cannibal myth that presents another darker side to this god.
I only punish those who have chosen evil.
Old Kingdom texts of Khonsu portrayed him as a celestial cannibal, a bloodthirsty deity who was said to devour the hearts of other gods should this thirst for death not be satiated. This falls in line with how Marvel's Mark Spector exists as a controversial antihero whose methodology has historically been driven by boundary-pushing violence.
I have to finish this. If not, I'll never be free.
What do you think is the most interesting aspect of Egyptian mythology? Let us know in the comments.